Howdy everybody, Rob Ferretti here in my New York voice now, which is, I'm sort of confusing it with my wherever the hell this hat is from voice, Montana if you were wondering. But today we're going to talk about the Lamborghini Urus. The URUS is the Lamborghini SUV. And what's cool about the Lamborghini SUV is it gives people who need that ultra luxury SUV an option. And the only one out there right now is the Bentley Bentayga, and Rolls-Royce is stepping in the game, Aston Martin's stepping in the game, and you only have to assume at some point in time Ferrari's going to step in the game. Porsche is already there, and the question is, like, why do people need these hyper expensive SUVs? They sort of look like other SUVs. The answer is they absolutely don't. Plain and simple. There is nothing more you're going to get out of a Lamborghini SUV than you're already going to get out of a Range Rover, Mercedes, GLS, G5. Well, I don't like the G550. It's like a fancy Jeep Wrangler. But the GLS, great car. BMW makes a great SUV. What are you getting with a Lamborghini SUV or an Aston Martin SUV or a Bentley SUV? The same damn thing, but people on the street say, that guy's richer than that guy, and that's why it exists. And Lamborghini's doing it right, because the Bentley, yeah, you got the grille in the front, but the Lamborghini, it's got like aggressive lines on it, looks very cool, and they're going to be in a myriad of awesome colors: orange, green, yellow, all these Lamborghini colors. So people are going to drive by and be like, I see a Lamborghini SUV coming right now. And you have these people now saying, hey, well, it's going to pollute the brand. Why would Lamborghini do this? Because it makes money. Lamborghini's in business to make money. All manufacturers are in business to make money. And the more money they make, the more they can reinvest into the brand, making cooler hypercars, making cooler supercars. It's not going to dilute the market. They're starting these cars at $220,000 roughly. So it's not like everybody on the block is going to have a Lamborghini SUV in your driveway and your Lamborghini is no longer cool. It will absolutely still be cool. It's for the guy who has a Lamborghini that also wants a Lamborghini SUV, because you know what? A Range Rover just doesn't cut it when you're going out. You want to take something that's practical, and you want everybody to know you're rich at the same time. And that's effectively what you're really going for. And the Lamborghini screams to more of a personality trait than the Bentley SUV or a Rolls or an Aston. They all have their own, let's call them stereotypes of the owners and the guy you expect to get out of the car, what the owner thinks that people think of them when they're driving that. But it comes with plenty of things that you don't need. It does come with decent gas mileage. I think it's about 22.9 out of a twin turbo V8. So no V12, no V10. It's coming with the twin turbo V8 out of the Audi RS series, I believe. So it's going to be a reliable car. It's designed for off-roading. It's designed for on-roading. But let's get real. Nobody's taking a $230,000 SUV and off-roading with it. They're going to be driving it to and from the supermarket. They're going to drive it to and from dinners just to show everybody that they're rich. Except maybe in the desert where some Saudi's going to put it up on two wheels and bomb around like that. But that happens with anything. Now, you may think, like, well, why is this going to work? Lamborghini's last SUV sucked. The LM002, which, granted, it's an older generation. It's back in the old Hummer days. That thing was atrocious to drive. And it's probably one of the least pleasant driving experiences I've ever had in my life. However, it's a Lamborghini and it's rare. What does that mean? It's now worth 10 times what it was worth when I drove it 10 years ago. So what do people do with trucks like that? They shove them in their garage, truck, SUV, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure it does pretty fine, like bombing through the desert. But as far as anything resembling practical, and when I say practical, I mean just even streetable, that wasn't it. And Lamborghinis have never been known, especially back in the 80s and 90s, as being streetable. They were just like awesome exercises of what can happen. The LM002 was terrible. It was not fun to drive. I'm sure this new SUV, which people have complained already, because that's what people do, looks like every other SUV out there. You know what? SUVs are designed to be practical. It's like saying all sports cars sort of look alike. SUVs need a certain amount of luggage space. They need a certain amount of seat space. People don't want to get in and be like, wow, this SUV is really cramped. That's what the Porsche Panamera is. It's sort of like a cross between a station wagon and an SUV. But if you want to make an SUV, it needs to have the arm room and the leg room and the dimensions inside the car to be an SUV. So of course they're all going to sort of look alike, except for different body panels on the outside, because that's effectively what an SUV is. So ultimately, I think they're going to do very well. I think Ferrari's going to end up stepping in the game here. The Lamborghini SUV segment, I'm sure will do just fine. I'm sure even at $220,000, you're not buying it because you need it, you're buying it because you want it. And that's very important, because a lot of people want, especially people with a lot of money, if you look at what they do in life, most of the stuff they do is just to validate the fact that they have a lot of money and show other people that they do. That's why they make $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 watches. That's why they make Louis Vuitton bags, and that's just for people to pretend they have money. But ultimately, that's why they make the Louis Vuitton suitcases and shit like that. The real ones, not the Chinatown ones. But everybody walks around with this stuff because you don't need it. You don't need a $500 belt. You don't need a $4,000 suitcase. You get it just to show other people that you got it. And that is effectively what the hyper SUV, am I making that up? Hyper SUV market, ultra luxury. It's not even ultra luxury. It's not even more luxurious than a Range Rover or something like that. The features are all the same. It's just that they have different logos. They look different. And people know when you pull up that you got money. Speaking of gotten money, if you got money, and we're talking about $6 and you want some Super Speeder stickers, we got these in white and black. I'll put a link in the description. Actually, you know what? I'll just put the thing in the description. PayPal Rob at superspeeders.com, and we'll mail them out for you. Don't forget to put your address. A lot of people forget to put their address, and then we have to email back and forth to get your address. But something cool to put on your laptop. Speaking of laptops, I'm still dealing with my headache with Apple right now, but that's about to cost me roughly, the estimate right now is between $700 and $2,400 to recover my data. That's going to suck. I'll keep you in the loop. Catch you next time.